Music has been part of my life since early childhood. My father was a music teacher, so we had many instruments available at home. I think I was about 5 years old. I asked my father, quite seriously, would you teach me something? And I didn't have any instrument in mind. There was a guitar there and a saxophone, accordion. He played all this instrument to some degree. My father picked up 2 recorders. He gave me one, started to make some sounds and asked me to repeat. And I remember he brought a notebook and wrote a beautiful treble clef, asked me to repeat that. That was the first language actually I was able to read and write. And that was the moment that started this lifelong journey. After a few months, I switched to piano. That was the instrument I actually graduated from high school, went into university, and my first jobs were also as a pianist. That's part of the journey to become a conductor. You have to play in opera houses on a piano. And for 4 years, I worked with vocal teachers who taught me how to work with opera singers, which was very helpful. The first time I stood in front of a professional orchestra, I was in my 20s. And ever since, for about 30 years now, I conducted pretty much every year at least 3 or 4 new orchestras. So it added up. I would say first year were pretty much concentrated in Europe. I conducted all over the continent, from Italy, from Sicily up to the northern countries. It added a lot of stamps on my passports, but this journey moved on to Asia, conducted a few times in Japan, in Taiwan, Canada, South America, of course, the US. In 2002 or 2003 that I conducted a rehearsal in Florence, Italy. I remember the rehearsal was on Verdi's Rigoletto, and in the break, I was introduced to a lovely couple from Santa Barbara, Joan and Jeff Rutkowski. At that time, Jeff was the principal cellist of the Santa Barbara Symphony, but also a professor for cello at UCSB. But previous to that, Jeff was actually a member of that orchestra in Florence. So I guess he came for a little vacation and hang out with his former colleagues. About 2 years later, I received an email with a message that the Santa Barbara Symphony is looking for a new music director. After about 2 years of auditions, because they had to filter the 300 candidates or so, here we are. The first years of my tenure, I was actually based in Italy. I would come for just a week or so to conduct the concerts, maybe stay a few days longer. After a few years, the board and management suggested that my impact would be greater if I would live locally. So I talked to my wife, she liked the idea, and we packed up 4 suitcases, 2 toddlers, few toys, I guess, and we came here. It was challenging with 2 small kids to move here. The kids didn't know 1 word in English. Having the Granada as our musical home, it allowed us to think bigger, to dream on bold ideas, creative ideas, because the theater itself allowed us to do so many things that other, let's say, concert halls not necessarily have. Programming for the community, something that is specifically designed for the 805 people, and something that will be different than the beautiful performances of visiting orchestras. This is where we find the collaborations to be really so important. Really, each collaboration is in my heart, because there's so much, thinking and working, collaborating, talking, brainstorming with my colleagues in town. Of course, Carmina Burana, led by the Granada with Choral Society, the State Street Ballet, together with Kismet, a beautiful production of The Soldier Tale with Christopher Lloyd. Really many beautiful productions. Our collaboration with the Double White Kings, led by the Granada. This is an incredible, important thing for us to make sure that this symphony is literally for everyone. So much talent is in this town. If we can accompany them on the Granada stage, then it makes me a very proud music director. We are so fortunate to be in a community that is so supportive, generous, and appreciative. This is one of the few small towns in the US that would have a professional symphony, a professional opera, a professional ballet company. That's not for granted. is just amazing.